What's up, everybody? We're back here with the Freak Show. It's your boy Cyrex, and welcome to episode 6. Now, as you can hear, we are pretty much back in the normal format of the show. The only differences for right now is instead of being in the front of the house, I'm in the back. I'm in the back patio. I don't think I've done any episodes here, but I mean, we're trying something, you know. As I'm sure you all know, in episode 5, we were at Kislan's house. We were having video game night, and the topic of the Double XL freshman cover came up. And so, of course, it was perfect for the 6 of us to discuss right there all together. Well, I mean, 3 of us, with the other 3 being ranging from 10 to 50% invested. But that's cool. I mean, strength in numbers, So, for that, a little shout out to Johnny Woo, to Koala, to Kislan, to Bree, and to Brittany. And suppose let's talk a little bit about doubt and feeling down. This is something that I honestly deal with very often. Very often. I mean, it would be safe to calculate that I deal with a little bit of it every single day. And I mean, doubt's, it's a powerful feeling. Or I guess a power draining feeling. However you choose to word, whatever perspective you're looking at on that one. It's very easy to feel doubt and to let that doubt take over. I'm definitely somebody who can speak on doubt because I've let doubt hold me back for years. I mean, if we're talking realistically, I could have started this podcast years ago, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but I mean, I guess I also didn't have the idea up until I started it. But now you have it. So, at the very least, it didn't take me all the way. And this is something that I've dealt with a lot in my music as well. I mean, I've been just dealing with for years. Honestly, from the very moment that I began rapping. And I'm sure just about anybody can attest to this whole idea of nobody's going to agree with you that you can make it right away. But I mean, it seeped into my family life and just everybody I encountered. And I mean, I don't have to tell y'all listening, how doubt feels. I'm sure everybody feels it all the time. So I just want to give a special message to all those feeling that doubt, feeling that iffiness, feeling like it's not going to work out. Keep on going. Keep on going. If you're in it for the long haul, just keep on remembering that things are not going to happen overnight. Nothing's happened for me overnight, and while, I mean, there are parts of me that wish it would, I mean, there's all of me that knows it was never going to happen overnight. And knows that if I didn't doubt myself so much, I would be further along, but nothing's going to change the fact that I'm doing it now. I'm doing my stuff now. I'm probably not working quite as smart as I could be, but I'm doing stuff. I like doing this. I like this podcast a lot. This is really enjoyable, just speaking, just getting my thoughts out, and just communicating. And I know that I don't get a lot of engagement on this podcast quite yet. But I know that I have a couple people who I know who like it. And I have, I guess, some people who I don't know who like it. So I definitely want you guys to continue listening for miscellaneous topics from me, because I'm sure by now I got all types of wild stuff on my mind. And we'll keep moving together. I mean, everywhere that this is posted is going to be my handle. So with my handle, I'm sure you can comment or send me private messages, stuff like that. And I don't ever want you to be afraid to reach out to me with a question that you have about something, or just something that you need to get off your chest, or something that you just need to see some kind of perspective on, something that you're feeling. Because I definitely want to make myself available for you guys and to hear you out. I don't have all the answers, I'm not Kanye or Sway, but I'm another person, and I'm another person who cares. And that can make all the difference. It's made all the difference for me a lot of the time. It's made all the difference for me a few times this week, I'll tell you that much. I guess on here I'm not afraid to admit I'm scared. I'm scared all the time. I want to make a life out of my music so badly, but I'm also so scared. I'm scared all the time that people don't want to listen, people don't care for it. People won't want to hear, because it's like it's easy to have that gung ho mindset of or I guess it's easy to get, maybe keep it, maybe not so much, but get that gung ho mindset of, yeah, I'm gonna make what I want. I'm gonna make my art. This is my art, and that's it. It's not an easy mindset to maintain, but at the same time, it's also easy for the mindset to catch up to you of, oh, what if nobody likes this? Because at the end of the day, you're making a product for consumers, and if consumers don't like your product, they may not, they won't buy it. How many internet companies are the only internet company in the area? So if you want internet, you got to get this company. Or you could go to that other satellite internet company. But I'll tell you from my experience selling Viasat and HughesNet, if you have options that are better than Viasat and HughesNet, chances are you're going to jump on them, unless the only options have done you seriously dirty already. And I have bugs all up on my leg right now. I hate bugs so much. Goodness. But yeah, that's just the mindset of, because it's still a market. And like Gary Vee says, the market is bigger than you, and you have to react to it. So we can't really act like we're bigger than the market, because we're not better than the market. If you make cleaning products, and these cleaning products release noxious fumes into somebody's house, nobody's gonna buy your shit. If you open up a fried chicken franchise and you handing out raw frozen chicken, ain't nobody gonna buy your shit. So, we feel that pressure to, we being artists, content creators, I guess, feel that pressure to make stuff that people want to consume, but that's a double-edged sword too, because we can also spend that exact amount of time thinking about, oh, well, we don't want to make a product that nobody wants. As we want to make a product that everybody wants. And in doing that, I'll admit, there's a good chance that I failed to respect the fact that people are different, and just because maybe the masses won't like it, or maybe because it doesn't reflect current pop trends, that people won't like it. But people are different, and people like different things, and that's what's definitely inspired me to continue pressing on with my music. I've known a lot of people who they seemed like they wanted to make a life out of music too, and either they just stopped for this reason or for another. There's a myriad of reasons to stop, but truth be told, I feel like there's way more reasons to keep going. I honestly feel like by giving it up, by having genuine talent and something good to offer, and giving it up, you're depriving yourself of something, you're depriving the world of something. I mean, that's just a overall lose-lose. And so that's just something that I can't do. I love music so much, and music is the most important thing in the world to me. And, even though I don't write every single day, I love my songs. Each song has a very special place in my heart. Each song reminds me of the time that reminds me of when I wrote it, reminds me of what I was feeling when I wrote it, reminds me of what other people might feel when they listen to it. And I want to invoke those feelings. I spend a lot of time being afraid of invoking certain feelings, but I'm not afraid of that. Music is dynamic. Music can be life-changing, honestly. I've encountered some artists who changed my life. When I first heard Kitty, I mean, this may be an unpopular opinion in the world of rap, because everyone, of course, is going to stereotype a particularly fair-skinned young woman coming from Central Florida. And I mean, at first glance, given hip-hop stereotypes, I get it, but I mean, way to be one-dimensional too. I consider her a great artist, and I definitely think that she's somebody who, once I saw her doing what it is that she does, once I saw her making her music, it really helped me out with those feelings of fear that I was having, those feelings of at least try something. Because, I mean, I'll be honest also, I spent a lot of time, making excuses, making those perfectionist excuses for not having any material, not having much stuff ready. I had a lot of stuff written, but I never, knew of a studio before then. I mean, I knew of studios, but I'm saying I never knew of a particular studio I could go to. I didn't make good connections. I didn't follow up with stuff. And so when I heard her, I mean, some things just clicked, and I just, it was then that I started to produce Waiting and Elsewhere and a few other songs. Some I've obviously not fully gotten finished, but still, it was a really empowering thing for me. But then, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that, I mean, I must have some kind of seriously, superstition grade, mythological grade stubbornness, because that's a message that I keep having to have ingrained into my head over and over by different things. And I mean, once it was by Kitty, once it was by, I'm sure it was by something on Viceland, and even most recently with Gary Vaynerchuk's videos. Shout out to him, of course. I mean, he's an inspiration. Honestly, I genuinely believe he's changing my life. And to be quite honest, y'all can thank him for this. Y'all can thank him for the Freak Show, because he inspired me to do it. I don't know what it was, but he said some things that just made it click. Maybe it was the just start stuff, the just do. And I mean, here I am communicating, talking to y'all, and it's fun. I'm literally just talking into my phone right now, but this is fun, and I enjoy it, and I really hope that you do too. This is one of the products of saying fuck doubt, of saying I only got one life to live, and doubt can go fuck itself. So that's really big. I would say that's definitely really big. And that's going to reflect itself, also in a lot of my lyrics too. Free Rex is coming very soon. And, you know what, I had a little bit of inside info, but I'll tell you what, nah. Nope. It'll stay inside for right now. maybe in the next episode, maybe in episode 7 or 8. We'll see. So for right now, I'd say that's about it on the discussion on doubt. If you wanna maybe throw a point in here or a question, anything like that to continue the discussion, I mean, I'm more than happy to, and I would absolutely love to answer them in a future episode. Feel free to comment whether you're watching this on SoundCloud or YouTube or whatever. Feel free to comment, or to hit me on Twitter or on Instagram, comment on one of my posts, or send me a DM, something like that. I don't mind. I definitely would love to see how you guys feel. I mean, obviously, I'm not the end-all, be-all of these topics. Literally, any topic, just like the going out topic from episode 2. I'm just talking from my own perspective. I, of course, try to acknowledge as many perspectives as I can, but I can also only speak from my own experience and somewhat those, of course, that I've empathized with. So that's as far as I can go. And, of course, there's a million other perspectives, at least, that you could take with this. So I'm definitely open to exploring them. So, yeah, just hit me up, and I'll get back at you, for sure. Cyrex MC on everything, you already know. Okay, so we're going to make a little bit of a sharp turn now. I guess I just wanted to tell you guys about my weekend. So my weekend was pretty decent. We're talking about the weekend of June 23rd, 24th, 25th. So, last weekend of the month, unless you count next Friday. I wouldn't. Anyway. So Friday was a good time. I spent it mostly in, but what I ended up doing was since I haven't really been able to drive since the car's kind of out of commission, I walked to Schulerberger. Now, I haven't been to Schulerberger in a little while, and that walk isn't too brutal, so, it's a nice little walk, and I just listened to some music while I walked. What was I listening to? I think I was either playing something on YouTube or I think I was listening to Brockhampton. Yeah, so I was bumping Brockhampton's Saturation album. Tight album, fucks with it. It's not really the point of where I'm going. Just wanted to make sure that I mentioned what I was listening to. I walked to Schulerberger. Matter of fact, I actually walked past it to a park, just the edge of the park on the sidewalk, and I got a Pokestop because I wasn't sure that I had one that day, and I didn't want to break my streak. It's already enough of a hassle to get to a Pokestop. That actually cost me my streak a couple weeks ago when we went to Chicks and Wings. But, it was my fault. I should have been more on top of the stops. It's all good, because I'm still with them. Now, I went past the stop, or to the stop, swiped it, did that, realized it wasn't my first stop of the day, so I moved on. So I went back to the plaza, went to Walgreens first. I got myself a 4-pack of Miller High Life. Yeah. Love some Miller High Life. It's, inexpensive. It's, I'll say it straight up. It's a poor man's beer, but it gets the job done. It tastes alright. Wish I had some right now. But I am too lazy and too late to go walk for some. And I doubt no one was up for driving, and I'm certainly not up for spending money on an Uber right now. For some beer? Nah. I'll walk to beer. I will not pay a cab toward it. But in any case, I got this beer, my 4-pack of Miller High Life, and then I walked to Schulerberger. I had already placed the order for Schulerberger, That's just what I do and what I've always done. You know, I think the only times were the first time and the times that I've actually eaten in the restaurant. Once was with Brianna, even though she didn't really get anything, and once with Louis. I don't remember what order that went in, but it was just those two occasions. Shula Burger honestly been treating me right ever since I've been a customer of theirs. I don't go often, but you know, once in a while, cause it's one of those like little treat yourself lunch, dinner things. But it's also like because it's so close by. I mean, their burgers. Let me tell y'all what I get from Shula Burger. I don't need to get a drink. I handle my drinks as you heard before. I handle my drinks. We can have water at home, and I just got some Miller High Life. You're with me. So what I ordered from Shula Burger was a create your own burger. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm quite a picky eater, so of course the create your own I gotta jump on that. Now, I do not and cannot consume cheese. Most people do know that about me. Fans of Cyrix, that's gonna be an easy one. I do not eat cheese. Do not consume it whatsoever. No way, no how. Nobody will convince me otherwise. It's just no. As such, I get a burger, no cheese, of course. Now, as for my burger, well done. I get it on a multi-grain bun. I just prefer the multi-grain bun. It's a little taller, yeah, but it's just better. I like multi-grain bread. It tastes good in a sandwich. So, I get the multi-grain bread. I get lettuce. I love lettuce. I love lettuce. I also get some jalapenos. Definitely has a great crunch, but it's also spicy. I love spicy food. Spicy food loves me. It has to. It must by now. Spicy food and I have been a long time, or have been in a very long relationship. I don't see that ending. So, you know how it is. And I also get some barbecue sauce on that burger too, because I mean, burger with barbecue sauce, it just makes sense. It's amazing. Get that burger and I get me a side of fries too. And I also, of course, get me some more barbecue sauce to dip the fries, to even dip the burger. And that Chipotle spread. It's real good. Now, that is a burger. I mean, I'm no holier than thou expert on burgers. I'm not anything like that. But that is a great burger. That's the burger that I fucks with. And I get some of their fries, and it's wonderful. And I mean, it costs, $10 for like a really good burger and some good fries. You know, it's not one of them everyday things, but, you know, on the weekend, you know, when it's been a rough day, you know, those once in a while, treat yourself meals. So what I did was I ate my burger, of course. I ate my food in peace, watching Baby Daddy. Baby Daddy. I did not know that they had, spoilers. I did not know they had concluded the show. But I just finished season 5 a few days ago. And Netflix hooked a brother up in such an amazing way. I mean, not like they cover my bill or anything, but still, they hooked me up by hitting me with the 6th and final season of Baby Daddy on Friday. Are you kidding me? So of course that made my night. I started watching season 6 right then and there while eating my food. What's the best time to watch something when you're eating? It's a pairing. It's a perfect pairing. That's part of the meal. They say what you watch and how you consume media is part of your diet. I'm eating good. I'm eating real good. Now, after this episode, or as this episode's ending, my sister Leanne tells me that she wants to go to the movies. She said she was going to go to the movies by herself, and she asked me to pick between two movies. I think one of them was 40. Oh, I think it's 47 meters down, something like that. And the other one was Rough Night. Rough Night got a great cast on it. I'll get into that in a second. And when she said that one, I'm like, wait, Rough Night? I thought she meant Netflix shows at first. I wasn't even thinking about what she was saying, but then she made me realize it was movies. And I was like, well, if you go see Rough Night, I might end up going with you if that's okay. And so, we had a little brother-sister night. We ended up watching Rough Night. Rough Night was dope. Dope. Shout out to all the actors in Rough Night. Shout out to the writers, the directors. I heard that Paul Downs, who also stars as Scarlett Johansson's fiance, I heard that I read rather, in the credits, that he had a big part in it. I don't know why I'm not just going on my phone to check on these facts. But, let's see. So yeah, Scarlett Johansson, and she's a politician. They don't really go much into, they did, but I think I just kind of forgot them because I'm a little out of it. But they got Kate McKinnon, they got Jillian Bell. Kate McKinnon from SNL, she, funny enough, I was almost convinced, wait a second, I thought she was American. Because I had first seen her, or I first really paid attention to her in the Iggy Azalea sketch on SNL. But like I had fact checked before, Kate McKinnon is American. She seems to do the Australian accent quite well. I would have taken her either way. Her performance was dope. But I guess they did give those some of those attributes, some of those known attributes, or some of those expected attributes in Australian characters in American movies. Now, they got Jillian Bell, who was Jillian Belk in Workaholics, because most of the cast just changed their last name to some degree, at least the main cast members. I definitely enjoyed her in Workaholics, and I enjoyed her in Rough Night as well, for sure. For sure, she was a good character. And then you have Ilana Glazer. I love Ilana. I first saw Ilana in that, what was it? In that, You Have to Guess. It was on Tosh.0, You Have to Guess. And I liked that sketch, so I looked it up, and you know how when you find somebody who you think is funny, who you like, you'll follow up a little bit. And that's how I found the Broad City episodes. This was back in 2012, 2013, so this was before the show was on TV, but the web series had already run its course. I watched every single episode. I liked it. It's one of those shows that you could just watch. Even though some were they would range in 15, I guess, but then shorter also. But I don't know. I enjoyed the characters. It was like how I enjoyed Big Bang Theory. Now the characters are not similar to Big Bang Theory, but I'm just saying, with my enjoyment to it. I just latched onto the characters. I was like, yes, I like this, I love this, I'm with this, yas, yas. I love Ilana. And then the show came on, and I was so like surprised when I found out about the show. I'm like, are you kidding me? Something I enjoy is gonna go on TV. Is gonna get bigger. Like, I was honestly, I'll talk about this probably in a later episode, or maybe later in this episode, how things that I like get discontinued or canceled. And Leanne kind of has some of that experience, but maybe it's happened to her more times, but as far as I know, it happens to me a hell of a lot. But Broad City was brought to TV with Amy Poehler behind it, and she didn't even appear in an episode, and I loved it. I love the show. As with everything, there's a couple episodes that I probably wouldn't revisit, but just so many of them I just love. And even if that one that I wouldn't revisit just comes on TV, I might just watch it just because I still love the characters and I still love the show. So, definitely shout outs to Ilana Glazer, to Abby Jacobson, to Hannibal Buress, Amy Poehler, Paul W. Downs. Includes the W every time I see his name. And also to Arturo Castro. And all the great audience members. John Gimberling, too. He's having a hell of a time playing the Bever's character, and making him hateable like we wanted to be, but John Gimberling definitely doing a good job on that one. I just love the show. Great show, and I cannot wait till season 4, just about a month and some change. No, 2 months. Yeah, 2 months. Almost 2 months even. But anyway, they also got Zoe Kravitz, too, in the movie. And Zoe Kravitz, we of course know, she is Lenny Kravitz's daughter. She was Angel in X-Men First Class. And her character had died by the time of Days of Future Past, unfortunately. So she was not in that movie. I thought that putting them all together, and apparently Alana's character Frankie and Zoe's character Blair are nah, I'm not gonna do that. No. People get mad at spoilers. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not trying to be blamed for something being spoiled. I'm not me. But anyway, we have, just a fantastic movie, honestly. Loved it. And then we got wings and we kept drinking. So then Saturday I had an interview at Starbucks. I think it went well. And then I tried that new s'mores drink. Yo. Very good. Freaking fantastic. Starbucks. It's s'mores frappuccino. They might have it hot, but it's late June here in Miami, so I'm not trying to have it hot. But anyway, after that, later on, I post seeing what's going on. It's Saturday night, so I was trying to go out, and so Leanne invites me to go out with the peeps, with Koala, with Angie, and she apparently had invited Johnny Woo, although he had told me that there was other shit going on that he had to handle. But turned out, the rest of the crew was there. We had, like I already mentioned, Leanne, Koala, Josh Koala, Angie. We had Lake, we had Simba, we had Christian, we had Trippy C, we had Joy, we had Kislan and Bree. Is that everybody? That was everybody. Yeah, so we were squatted up. We were definitely squatted up.
We went to Mana first. Oh, I mean, let's talk about the fact that we took quite a while getting ready. We got out there. Let's see. We had first convened at Angie's place, and I mean, it was already late then. So then we went to the gas station, and we got a couple amenities, and then we headed out. You know, we got to the wood, and it was late. That's actually where we first found the rest of Tribune Lion. They were riding around looking for parking already there, and we followed them and we parked right behind them. So you know we just chilled out there. We pressed on and until we gathered. We went to Mana. We were supposed to go to Shots apparently, but I mean that line was huge, and I mean I'll be honest. With my personality, Shots did not seem promising at all. I was just kind of gonna see, you know, what we were doing. Shots was not promising. But we didn't even end up going. We ended up going to the Wynwood Marketplace in Mana Wynwood, where they had the SOS bar open. That was okay, but it seemed like it was already winding down, as it usually does by that time. So then we pressed on to Brick. I'm okay with Brick, but I mean, just so many people just go there to stand around and not dance. Like you can do that at home and or with your friends and pay less money for booze. So I don't know, some of that perplexes me sometimes. I mean, if you like all the music that's being played there and or you're actually dancing, whew, I would say you're exactly who this is for. You're exactly who that kind of event is for. You have all the people have every right to be there, but you have all the business in the world being there, enjoying yourself, you know? It's for you. You're literally the target audience. As Professor Farnsworth said, only targets. So, from there, we ended up moving along again. Where did we go that time? I think we tried to go into Shots again. Oh yeah, we did try to go into Shots again. We encountered two people, one who was a friend of Leanne's or an old coworker of Leanne's, and then his homie was with him, and I don't know how it got started, but we started freestyling, him, me, and Koala. I have his name on Instagram. I'll find that. We started freestyling all the way there, you know, going back and forth. Now, I mean, my freestyle game actually gotten pretty decent lately, you know. I actually am going to make the freestyle mixtapes available for request. They're going to be private mixtapes. But anyway, we freestyled the whole way there. And I mean, it was fun. Like that's definitely what I enjoy doing. It's just, I mean, even when I'm not doing like good stuff, even when I don't consider my freestyles like all that. Like, you know, I'm gonna go down as the number one, you know, as the GOAT for my written. But freestyling is still fun. So, you know, we did that. And as Joel Ortiz says, freestyling make my bars get tighter. I mean, he ain't wrong about that. He is certainly not wrong about that. So we went to try to get into Shots, but we just didn't end up doing it. They were apparently not letting people in. So then we moved along. We went to Blackbird Ordinary. You know, our friend Cedric was running security over there. Or not running security, but he was working over there as security. So we got in there. It was an alright place. We took some pictures. We actually, so a few of us were taking pictures the whole night, but we got pictures of like the squad and that type of stuff, and then I actually saw a couple guys from high school, my old homie Evil, and his homie, who I had met a couple times, and I think now that I think about it, I may have freestyled with him before too, sometime during senior year. Robert, or Rob has introduced himself, and I mean it was really just Evil and me going back and forth, but Rob jumped in a couple times, and that shit was fun too. Like, I had forgotten that we had done it a few times, in high school, right after high school possibly, and it was just dope. It's just not there's not a lot of things that just beat that feeling of just rapping. And with freestyling, honestly, I mean, I try to make it good, but I mean, it's different. It's very different. Like, it's hard to explain, but I might explain that later on too. For now, let's keep on with the story. So Leanne comes over, and that just immediately indicates to me she may want to leave. So when it gets passed to me again, when she came over for a little while, Evo was still going in, and I mean he was spitting some real fire shit. And then when it got passed to me, I, in my freestyle, immediately started engaging Leanne, saying, rhyming. I don't remember how I did it. I don't think I'm gonna try right now. But I was asking her through rap if she was coming here to tell me that she wants to leave, or that everybody wants to leave, or that we're going somewhere else. And it took her a second to catch on to it, which I definitely take that as a compliment. She got wrapped, somebody actually got wrapped up in my rhyme that they didn't understand. I was just talking directly to them through it. So that I'm flattered by. Unless I'm just talking out of my ass, but I'm probably right. And when she caught on, then I, asked it to her again, and she confirmed. So we ended up leaving. It was all good, and we ended up going to McDonald's. We saw my old manager, Michelle. She was working the overnight shift that she usually does. Seems to be her favorite shift. I think that's what she even told me while I was working there. Yeah, so that was my old McDonald's, right down the way, right down the block. And so, she took good care of us, as she always does. She's definitely great at her customer service. We just munched out there, and chatted a little bit more, and then that was it. We went home, and so that was the end of Saturday night. And today I ended up going with Louis. He picked me up to go to the mall, to the Sam Ash. Shout out to Dolphin Mall, one of the larger and more chic, maybe, malls in. First of all, definitely the nicest mall in this part of the county, and just a very nice mall on the outside. Stores, and it just gets so packed there. We observed 4 luggage stores, plus at least 2 or 3 luggage kiosks. Like, when we kept acknowledging them, they became like a little joke with us, and I was like, "Yo, is this like really an airport? How can you need to sell that much luggage? I understand you're only a few miles from MIA, but damn, all the luggage stores are there. But, you know, at the same time, what do I know? Where else do I see luggage stores? The only luggage store, other than that one that I know off the top of my head, is maybe a Walmart where they sell them, and a store in Dadeland Mall, and a store in the Falls. So, I guess this is what they do. And Dolphin Mall is that mega mall or whatever, so they handle it. So, you know, get your money on, get your grind on. Do you, Dolphin Mall? Still don't like it though. It's okay, but it's not. Only things I like about there, I mean, I haven't been to Cine Bistro, if that's what the place is called. I want to say it is. Well, I mean, I just said it is. But I mean, I'm sure that I've heard great things about that place, but I mean, Dave & Buster's is a classic. Love Dave & Buster's. Also, gotta love the Cobb Theater is good. It's good. I love it. I fucks with it. I had some good times there. Show. Cobb Theater, shout out. Except for that one time that I didn't know they were Cobb, and so I tried to use a Regal card, a Regal gift card. That was an L. It's whatever though. But I mean, they got good restaurants too. They got the TGI Fridays, that's just tight. They had that seafood restaurant. I don't even know if it's still there, but I once went during the first season, my first season of FIU marching band, with my at the time girlfriend and her roommate. And I mean, it was alright. You know, I vibed with it. So yeah, the mall's out. The outer ring basically is alright. The front part is alright. The Sam Ash is alright. I just don't like being there for very long. But I mean, Louis was there to, you know, to sell a piece of equipment. Didn't get anywhere near what he was looking for it, nor what he paid, considering he kept this equipment in mint condition. So we had to move along. We just walked through the mall, went to the Vans store. Shout out to Vans, but also, you know, Vans had me fucked up. Which I say, well, Vans, as trying to work for them, had me fucked up. I say this as I wear an off-the-wall t-shirt. Needless to say, from Vans. Off the wall. I like the brand, but working there, it just wasn't good. But anyway, we also walked through the food court, got a couple free samples from Chicken Connection. Louis was like, wasn't that the weakest barbecue sauce you ever had? I'm like, yeah, it kind of was. It was like the barbecue sauce that like works out trains, hoping that one day it can be that real barbecue sauce that good. It tasted too much like Chicken Kitchen, but like way more expensive. And ironically, I ended up getting Chicken Kitchen to eat. So yeah, that was my weekend. And if that wasn't that interesting, that was my weekend. So I'll probably hit you with a more interesting topic in the next episode. Just more stuff. Thanks again for listening, and thanks again for just supporting overall. You can follow me on Cyrex MC on everything. I mean, like I said before in early episodes, musically, Symbol, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just follow me on YouTube, SoundCloud. I'm even gonna give me a Bandcamp. Yeah, that's right. Just look out. Free Recs coming very soon. Once again, thank you so much for listening. This is The Freak Show, and I am Cyrex. Have a good night.